The new S-Class, the new luxury, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Bank Negara Malaysia, or BNM, kept its key interest rate unchanged at the lowest on record at the Central Bank's first Monetary Policy Committee meeting for the year. BNM held its overnight policy rates steady at 1.75% and said the committee considers the current stance of monetary policy to be appropriate and accommodative. It expects fiscal and financial measures to continue to cushion the economic impact on businesses and households and provide support to economic activity. According to the central bank, the headline inflation averaged 2.3% for the period of January to November last year. It expects average headline inflation in 2022 to remain moderate as the base effect from fuel inflation dissipates. Meanwhile, underlying inflation, as measured by core inflation, is seen edging upwards as economic activity normalizes amid the environment of high input costs. Still, core inflation should be modest, with upside risk contained by the continued slack in the economy and labour market, though the outlook continues to be subject to global commodity price developments. This year, BNM expects growth to gain further momentum, but risks to the growth outlook remain tilted to the downside. These may arise from weaker than expected global growth, a worsening in supply chain disruptions, and the emergence of severe and vaccine-resistant COVID-19 variants. The Finance Ministry says the northeast monsoon floods that hit the country last December has caused an estimated 4 billion ringgit to 8 billion ringgit reduction in the economic sector's production value. According to National Newswire Bernama, Finance Minister Tengku Datuk Sri Zafrul Abdul Aziz said although the disaster had a major impact on economic activities, the country's gross domestic product growth forecast remained at between 3% and 4% for 2021. Speaking at a special sitting at the Dewan Rakyat today, he said the government had taken into account key indicators which showed encouraging signs of recovery. He said the nation's recovery momentum is expected to continue throughout the year, with the economy to grow between 5.5% and 6.5%, in line with the projections of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. The main drivers of Malaysia's growth, he said, include the reopening of more economic and social sectors, following the nationwide transition to the fourth phase of Putrajaya's National Recovery Plan. The Malaysian Automotive Association, or MAA, has forecast a 17.9% growth in total industry volume TIV this year as the economy stages a rebound post-pandemic. According to Bernama, TIV should improve to 600,000 units in 2022 from 508,911 units in 2021, with this year's figure expected to comprise 540,000 passenger vehicles and 60,000 commercial vehicles. President Dato' Aisyah Ahmad explained that the sales tax exemption incentive for passenger vehicles till June 30th, 2022 and the ramping up of production and deliveries to fulfill backlog and new orders will be the main contributors to improving sales. The benchmark overnight policy rate at 1.75% will also provide additional stimulus for the sector by helping spur domestic spending, including big-ticket items like cars. Aisyah said the introduction of new models, including electric vehicles at more competitive prices and aggressive promotional campaigns by MAA members to push sales, can also help to sustain buying interest. She warned that pandemic-related challenges may remain, though it is unlikely they will cause major upheavals, given the authorities' experience in handling the COVID-19 crisis. As for 2021's numbers, she said the TIV at 508,911 units translates into a 4% drop year-on-year, which was still a commendable achievement given the situation. The federal court. The country's highest court has decided in favour of National Union of Flight Attendants Malaysia or Nufam President Ismail Nasaruddin Abdul Wahab, setting aside a previous decision that his dismissal by Malaysia Airlines for participating in union activities was lawful. The three-member bench, led by Federal Court Judge Datuk Nalini Padmanathan, allowed his appeal, ruling that he did not abuse his position as the Nufam leader when he issued a press statement highlighting the plight of workers and calling for the CEO's resignation. Justice Nalini said the statement issued was not malicious and was done in the interest of the thousands of flight attendants whom he represented. The court upheld the damages amounting to 211,444 ringgit and 56 sen awarded by the Industrial Court to Ismail Nasaruddin and ordered the carrier to pay costs amounting to 50,000 ringgit. In 2013, the Nufam chief gave an interview to The Sun to highlight the concerns of workers in relation to claims of overwork, underpayment of salaries, health and safety issues due to Malaysia Airlines' fleet realignment exercise and weight loss exercise. He also called for the resignation of then CEO Ahmad Jauhari Yahya for failing to resolve the said issues. The carrier dismissed him in November that year. CORAZA Integrated Technology saw its share price more than double this morning as it made its debut on Bursa Malaysia's sponsor-driven ACE market. The stock rose as much as 42.5 sen or 152% to 70.5 sen from its initial public offering price of 28 sen. It pared some gains to close at 64.5 sen apiece, with some 193 million units traded. CORAZA is an integrated engineering solutions provider which provides support to its customers, many of whom are large multinational corporations from the semiconductor, instrumentation, life science and medical device industries. It also has clients from the telecommunications, aerospace as well as electrical and electronics sectors. Managing Director Lim Teck Ho said, over the last 2 years, the company has seen increasing inquiries and orders from its existing and potential customers across all market sectors, especially the semiconductor sector. As for its investment in the aerospace sector, he said it is a strategy to enhance CORAZA's capabilities in meeting aerospace engineering quality standards, which are higher than those of other industries, providing the company a competitive advantage. Looking ahead, Lim said CORAZA is positive on its prospects as it continues to strengthen its competencies and competitiveness across its core business segments.
This program was brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.